Iraqi Shias hold protest rallies in Saudi borderlines. On Wednesday, coinciding with the World Day of Baqi Cemetery on 8th of Shawwal, several groups of Iraqi protesters held rallies at Saudi borderlines to condemn the demolition of sacred sites in Baqi Cemetery by Wahhabi extremists. It is worth noting that these protest rallies are organized annually by the PR office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi. For more on this, I invite you to watch this report.
Every year, barely a week after the celebration of Eid al-Fitr, Shias all over the world gather together to remember the tragedy of the demolition of al-Baqi, a destruction from which this blessed cemetery has never recovered. Jannat al-Baqi is a graveyard in Medina, which houses 4 of the 12 infallible Imams of Shia Islam, besides the many great companions of the Holy Prophet of Islam. Once a host of myriads of pilgrims, today the Jannat al-Baqi cemetery is inaccessible and flattened to the ground on the orders of Wahhabi clerics on a dark Wednesday towards the end of April 1925, 8th of Shawwal 1345 after Hijrah. The Shia Muslims remember this tragedy each year on the World Day of Baqi demolition on the 8th of Shawwal as a token of their unyielding will for putting an end to oppression against the holy household of the God's Messenger.
On this occasion, the officers of the Grand Shah Ayatollah Shirazi around the world held rallies and ceremonies to condemn the destruction of the mausoleums of the holy infallible Imams and other monumental Islamic figures on the World Day of Baqi shrines. Along the same lines, large groups of Shia believers, while holding placards and chanting slogans, marched to the Saudi borderlines in Iraq to condemn the barbaric actions of the Saudi regime and call for the reconstruction of these holy sites in Baqi Cemetery. These protest marches are organized by the PR office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Iraq. The protest rally came to an end after the organizers read out a statement in which they demanded the international community to put pressure on the Saudi government in order to allow the restoration of the holy shrines on the historical sites in this country. Further, this statement called the destruction of the holy shrines in Baqi Cemetery an act of religious discrimination and condemned it in strong terms. At the end, the statement hinted that all religious and historical sites around the world, particularly in Saudi Arabia, should be included in the cultural heritage list of the United Nations so that they remain protected against such destructive ideologies.